So, so the basic gist here is that I am going through some of the old games I used to make, and I'm playing through them. And I figured it would make more sense instead of like the most, what's the right word, narcissistic thing of playing your own games on a stream. Maybe actually having my friends be here so that I can actually get some like legitimate commentary. Because even though I don't remember a lot of the stuff I put in my old games, I think it's cooler to actually show them off to people, because with the few exceptions of like a friend or two I had in high school, most people haven't even seen these games. There it goes.
There we go.
Wow. You guys are like spared from the shit that I have to go through to play my old games on here. Like, it's really rough. So anyway, this is a turn-based strategy game that I made probably like shortly after high school. I don't really remember which most of this stuff is. I do know that there are two maps. One of them's a little more strategic than the other, so I can leave it on that one. And obviously I don't want to press anything else that can risk this game crashing on us.
Before we do two-player, do you actually want to start with one player?
No, because it's just AI. It's terrible.
Okay.
The other game I wanted to play was only one player, and we were going to trade off on levels, but this one was designed for me to play with my friend. A little backstory on this game. Actually, me and my buddy in high school used to have these game board nights, and often we'd come over to his house and just play Stratego. I made this game because I was inspired by Stratego and all of its complicated rules, so I tried making my own. It's not as good, obviously, but it's still fun. This was also the first multiplayer network game I ever made, and for that reason it doesn't work. A lot of times the packets will get lost and the game will break, which is pretty funny.
Was it UDP?
Yes. And I didn't
send it and forget it.
I didn't understand UDP back then. So the idea here is that you place the units where you want them to be, and then you start. So I'm the guy in the bottom. This is also pretty funny too, because one of us has to pick whether we want our leader, which is kind of like, if the leader dies, the game is over. So one of us has to pick if we want to be a hero or a sorcerer, but we both can't be either. So I don't even know if the game is balanced for that reason.
Wait, like if you pick a sorcerer, I can't be the sorcerer?
Yes.
Or
so this is the idea.
Gotcha.
The number in the upper right is their attack, and then the number in the lower right, I believe, is their magic attack, like their magic power.
Well, clearly the hero's better.
Well, fuck you, I'm taking him.
It's messed up.
Oh wait, did I click on him? If I find a bug right away, I'm gonna be super pissed. Okay, good. Apparently I don't highlight them. I guess I just... Let's start. So
there's so many characters.
By the way, I think I have a by the way, this is ridiculous. I can't go through this. So like everybody, I wasn't even thinking. Look, he's like, they're all fucking trapped.
Way.
Yes, no. I didn't like plan for that very well. So you don't have to move everybody, but I think you can. This is like my lack of game design skills when I made this. The fact that
I don't think we should have chosen that many people to start off with.
You can actually start with... No, you have to fill up both rows. What I do when I play this game is I just try to like balance between how quick I want it to go versus who I want to be where, you know? I do think the smartest way to play this is to wear the other person down and also keep your leader back if you can help it. My strategy is... I want to fucking tell you what my strategy is. Damn. Oh, God, I don't even gray them out when they can't move anymore. I'm proud of the Linux VM for actually handling this game, though, by the way. This is good. I just want to get... Oh, God, I trapped my mages. You right-click if you want to cancel, by the way.
Okay.
And you cannot move through other pieces. So literally everybody's, like, trying to squeeze
through. And we can't go over there. You have one point of ingress into the board. I have at least a few more. I think, let's see.
I think you can kill your own... You might be able to kill your own pieces, too. But
no.
One thing I will say in this game is I have no delusions about this being a good game. This is more like just to play my old games and have some commentary. I think this ends the turn. This also, you can click on this to see like things about them. But this ends the turn, so...
Oh, God, I have to do this.
I know. We'll do the best we can to get through a game. There's no promise that we have to... Careful, if you start clicking up on that shit.
Yeah.
Like, suspend the VM, I'll be pissed.
I would be, too.
So, guys that are watching, I did say at the end of this... I'm actually kind of glad the other game didn't work, because doing both of these might have been hard. I'll answer any questions you guys have about how I made this game. Any of the code... challenges and stuff like that. I've covered in a lot of my videos how to do platforming programming and how to do like machine gun shooting and stuff like that. But I never really actually covered any kind of UI-like games, and I would actually categorize this as the kind of game where there's... Wow, look at this. You even have a better bottleneck. This is so unbalanced.
No, yours is 5. Mine's 4.
But mine's all on one side.
You have a good point right there. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But I still have less throughput.
Do you know how I made those stupid-ass... rocks?
You can't even tell me these are the scouts that are good. Like, I can only go ahead 2 anyway.
Well, you can go ahead in all directions. No, they're terrible. Careful, I think you can kill your own guys too. I think I made that something like a troll thing on purpose. But I made those rocks using the first 3D modeling software that I ever learned how to use. It was called Raydream 3D. That, or I made them with Blender.
Raydream.
It wasn't a very good program. The only thing that I might have a chance at is that I've played this and you haven't, but actually, this is one of those games where it's ridiculous. You want to know what's funny, too? I have a mode of this game, which I never turn on, where every turn is one move.
No.
I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, which I don't know what the hell I was... Well, in Stratego, every turn was one move, remember?
So you had 2... maps, and this one was the more strategic. What was the other one? Was it open?
Completely open.
Oh,
nothing there.
That would have been glorious.
I don't know. I remember this one being a little cooler. I didn't remember it being this. You got to remember, I have not played this game in probably over 10 years. It's been that long.
No, that's
what I really want to do is see some combat, and that's why I'm kind of rushing through my turns to get up to you. So
right.
I could show off.
Just rush.
By the way, even though it's really stupid to put your leader in battle, he is pretty strong. So you're not going to kill him right away.
Well, I mean, we have the same leader, so...
We'll fuck each other up.
Oh, well...
Okay, this is just me like saying... By the way, this is the kind of... These guys over here, they're never going to fucking get used.
I know.
Oh, cool. You're welcome. Yeah. I'm glad when people actually use the chat. It's nice.
Yes. Thank you, Raylex.
I've been using YouTube long enough now to actually have a person or two actually comment or watch the streams and say stuff, and that's kind of neat. You hear my
Jester for the win.
Oh shit, we're close. We're close to each other. We're like almost in archer range soon. I didn't realize how close we were, so maybe this is more strategic than I thought.
Good to know. Let me start moving my archers into place.
Fucking
it's so slow. Look at them. We are not in archer range. Certainly not this guy.
I remember playing this with my best friend in high school, and we were just laughing about the idea of a battlefield where instead of like gestures, which their fucking purpose was to like entertain the royalty. No, you're sending them out in the fucking battle to get killed. Like, they're fucking dancing on the field. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have any weapons. It's actually really fucked up.
It's fine. This is fine. What? I can go over there?
Oh, yeah, but
that was awesome.
Well, it's only if you're completely blocked off.
Okay, I get it. So diagonals are open.
My algorithm skills were not good when I made this game. This game was pretty simple to program. As a matter of fact, what I learned when I was in... When I was learning how to make these games during what I call the renaissance of me learning how to code.
Do not pay attention to my sneak attackers.
Okay, yeah, I'll fucking try not to. What I learned when I was making this game, and a lot of games, was that the actual amount of skills, like math skills and programming skills in general, that were needed to make most of the games that were made in the 90s, like the Super Nintendo games, shit like this, 2D games, the skill level is actually pretty low. You don't need to know trig. You don't need to know anything besides basic algebra to put something like this together.
You have a really
this
good
was
point,
literally
actually.
nothing more than just like a 2D array, which was like advanced to me when I made this game. You're actually trying, and that's scaring me. Because you know you've moved almost everybody.
Good. I should
kill them.
Ooh. Is that you?
Yes, and I do believe it's the only sound effect.
I do believe, you're right on the way.
I do believe it's the only sound effect in the entire game. I think.
Damn it. Or darn
No, it's just out of range. You know what pisses me off? You're going to shoot at my archers, and I do think they're one-hit kills, too.
Yes.
With the... All they managed to do is kill your
Yeah, but I only
Jester.
I only have like one archer within range.
I'm fucking keeping this guy back. Oh, the Juggernauts. So I don't think they have much defense. Yeah, see, they're 5 hit points, 5 out of 5. And their defense is 4. So it is that 4, unless I typoed. So it's 4. It's really simple addition and subtraction. So if I look at an archer's attack, his attack is 3. That doesn't make any... Oh, shit! It might be 3 minus 4. So because the gesture has... You know what? I don't think you can do shit to my... And if this is right, I don't think you can do shit to them. Because they're really strong.
Invincible, but
basically they're not balanced at all. So I'm going to bring up all my... I don't think the archers... Oh, now, their magic defense, on the other hand, which I think I might have actually coded up. Their magic defense is 0. So this is why you need your mages. So this is why I need to bring up some more of my mages. The mages, I don't think they have the same range. Oh, they have a freeze, which makes you unable to move for a turn. Just hit spacebar. So, see this freeze? I can freeze one of you guys, and then you won't be able to move for a turn. But you'll use up your magic points, and your magic points won't recover for like a whole round or something like that. So there is actually some serious... The funny thing is, I made this game, and then I played it like probably 4 times in my life. So I don't think anyone's actually ever put this game to the test as far as like the actual strategy in it, because like, who the fuck am I to make this? You know, like people aren't gonna... This game never got big. Out of all the games I ever made during the era when I made all these games, the only one that people actually got into to the point where they were emailing me and asking for cheat codes and stuff was Char.
Char? Is that one down the road?
I actually did it a while back, but I did it not on the streams, so I probably will be doing that one again. Yeah. Okay. It's very long. It's like an 8-level Mario style game.
Ray, let's ask if you ever used the pathfinding.
I never learned the pathfinding algorithms. I was...
Dextracus.
I can't say his name. I think he might be talking about A asterisk or A star, which they might be similar. But back when I learned how to make these games, algorithms in general, especially pathfinding ones, were beyond my skill sets. So I didn't know how to implement them, and I didn't have the confidence back then. You're going to get killed.
That's fine.
I drew first blood, by the way. I didn't have the confidence back then to try to implement algorithms. Like back then, there was no such thing as Wikipedia. So if you wanted to find an algorithm, you'd have to find some really obscure...
You'd have to code it, or... Yeah.
You'd have to find some really bad reference to it on some... God damn it. I think I might have 1 hit point after that. 3 minus 4. Let's see. You can't hurt my knights at all? That is fucking awesome. Yeah, because it's 4 minus 3. I don't understand why that happened. You're going to need your mages, though.
I don't... Is this mage? Yeah,
I think archers can hurt each other. Archers can hurt mages, which is a good thing. So they're like the counter to that.
Well, I think I just...
Your white mage is going to get his ass kicked.
Is that a white mage? Oh, I need like these guys. Uh-oh, they're so far away.
You're going to fucking die. But yeah, back when I started, algorithms were not very prevalent. So everything I kind of was through trial and error and trying to teach myself, which is one of the reasons why my early games are really all not that advanced. By the time I actually got decent at programming and, beyond basic algorithms, I had already made the jump to 3D. And 3D is very time consuming, so my first 3D games weren't very great. And then by the time I got better than that, I had already kind of stopped making games.
I need to move all these guys.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I had stopped making games by the time I learned things like pathfinding. Normally, you're a trooper.
But you have some basic pathfinding. But now you have the
I actually found my Visual Basic 2000 Visual Basic 5 CD when I was digging through looking for my CD that had the other game on it. And I looked at it and I was like, I should seriously just install this on the stream and have everybody laugh. But no. Visual Basic was the first language I ever learned. I don't know if I ever mentioned that in any of my stuff.
I don't think you should, though. Sick burn. So Small All Day said it would be cool to see some interesting parts of the code for this game.
We will definitely go through that afterwards. And if you want to ask what parts you'd like to see, feel free. Oh, are you kidding me?
Come on. I'm definitely going to die before then.
No, you won't. Because look, well, whatever. This is fucking... I almost wanted... highlight the fact that I was a very bad
Can I kill this guy with one hit? Or
I don't think he can kill anybody. He's called the Trapper. Yeah, the only thing he can do is kill the leader. So by you putting him up front, it's actually hilarious because you basically got him killed. But that's okay. It's fine.
Can I
you need to move him next. Yeah, he can only attack kind of like a rook in chess. So click that and... You hurt me a bit.
Now it could be like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Whatever. But can I use my archer to kill him now?
I don't think so.
It was the zero problem?
It's very simple stuff. It's just addition and subtraction, yeah. You could...
Is this my white mage? Maybe I can... No. Okay.
Well, if I hit you, you can heal me. Magic point restore or hit point restore. You don't need to heal anybody because I haven't hurt anybody yet.
That's true. Up and then
Yeah, you might be... Oh, geez, you can kill... Yeah. I told you, the gestures serve no purpose in this game. It's... Oh, you piece of shit. Okay.
What?
Well, they're archers. They do that.
I would at least kill the jester. I want to kill something.
The thing that sucks about this game is you can, well, beyond many things, you can forget what your fucking health points are, and then you can forget to heal people. So,
Ooh.
So, my plan here. My plan there is to hit you back, because fuck you, and then white mage, you better fucking... Yes. Heal, bitch! I was so happy in myself when I programmed that little effect. And, the real question... Oh, dude, check it out. Surprise, motherfucker. And then come the archers to kill you. They can kill you.
No. Wait.
What?! What?
Oh, mountain in the way.
I let myself waste it? Fucking kidding me? That was a big part of what I was going to do, what I just decided just now. Okay, you know what? Here. I'm already doing well enough. I don't need to fucking worry about this.
It doesn't...
No, you need to use the harm... You just quit the entire game.
No way.
You did. You quit the entire fucking game. I saw that happen earlier, and I was worried that might be a thing. Later on, I got wise enough to program the escape key thing.
Oh, are you sure you want to escape?
On my other games, for that reason. This might be okay, because we could play the other game. I love how this is on short mode, by the way, too. We could all thank...
I'm sorry, everybody.
Well, I like to edit these and put the highlights in the actual YouTube. That's going to make the highlight.
The slow motion.
Because everyone's going to wonder why the fucking game ended. That's okay. That's totally fine. It would have been a lot of the same. I do think I was winning.
Yes. It was all part of that.
Usually what I do is I just do a really, really high-level dive. 2002. Which is when actually I used to date my stuff. Oh my god, this is back when I actually split the GPL on my code. I never did this shortly after that. I don't like the GPL license. But back then, I guess I didn't care as much. So at the highest level, what my games would do is pretty much the same thing. They would just come into main, do like an init function call, and then do a while loop, and then basically run the event loop and then shut down. I believe I wasn't very good at separating out my code back then, so I think this title thing goes into its own separate event loop just for the title, and then after that I go into the actual game loop. So if I was to actually look at the game loop, there it is. This is a high-level loop for the entire game. I returned a char. So back these games were back when I was still kind of like a C programmer, so even though they're C++, a lot of the stuff I would write was mostly C code, and C didn't have a Boolean type, so I tried to be ultra efficient back then and use char instead of an int for the Boolean, so it was only 1 byte.
Mm-hmm.
So that was basically the return value of whether or not you wanted to quit the game, as Romo demonstrated earlier.
Where's the escape?
We can't fix it because we can't get Lagro to build. So the basic idea here is I blitzed the entire battlefield data or the back buffer for the entire battlefield background image into a buffer that I use later on when I'm drawing the screen. And then I set up the shroud, which is a 2D array, which we weren't using because we were local. And then based off of which battlefield we're in, I decide which ones are going to have the rocks in there. So a lot of this is still setup stuff. I set up the menu functions, which I believe are modal functions for the unit placement. based off of who's playing what. Some of this has some if statements in there for networking code and whatnot. And the actual loop is very, very simple. It's basically while loop go is true, which is set to false when you hit escape. Input, which checks the keyboard input, processing. This is very similar, if you guys saw my last stream, to the games that I had before. Fantastic, Romo. Romo hit the laptop with something, trying to sabotage the stream, and then draw a screen. This little
hit
thing,
the escape key from afar.
This little while loop was an old school way to make sure that if the game was running too fast, you would slow down in a busy loop. So while the frame rate was faster than what I wanted it to be, I would actually stop.
Both developers.
Yeah, Romo's a coder as well. Romo's kind of more the next generation of coder. He's a web front-end guy, which is really popular right now. So Romo does a lot of web
applications,
Angular. I don't even want to say jQuery because that's not even a big deal anymore.
Still use it, but Meteor
React
is another one. React.
Yeah. So Romo's on the forefront of things that are web technologies. But you've been interested in gaming and game programming for a while now, and Romo and I have known each other for quite a few years, so it only made sense for him to join. So the input function, if key escape, everything goes to shit. I have some other stuff here. These are some debug keys, which I might have active in the current build for doing certain things. There's no debug to get us back to where we are, though. There's some key press stuff in here, nothing too fancy. What I might do is actually walk you guys through not stuff you've already seen before, but maybe something new. So let's just take a look at one file before we go to the next game. This is my menus. This is how I programmed all the menus in the entire game. These are not C++ classes. Again, 2002, my C++ skills were pretty damn new, so I didn't really learn how to do classes very well yet. So you'll see as I go through some of my later games, my style changes quite a bit. But the whole idea here is I have a function called window, and this is very, very not a great way to code this, but this function basically opens up a little GUI window at the X, Y, width, height position, asking for a given color. And what I do is I draw the sprites for the menu's left, right, top, and bottom borders, and then put a rectangular, transparent part for the actual meat of the window. And now that's all this function does is draw the window. When I want to actually... You asked a question. Sorry.
Oh, no, I just remember you referencing open menu everywhere.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to show them this file. So, open menu is pretty simple. You just pass it a string for the title, X, Y, width, height. And what this does is actually uses the same function. I don't think that was anybody. Uses the same function that I had above, but puts it inside a modal, which will actually put the actual menu choices in there and activate them. So I basically have the menu types for all the things you can do in the game, whether you're looking at the mage, magic, sorcerer, white mage, and so forth. And I put all these things into what looks like a struct, an array inside of a struct of the actual menu options for what I want to happen. And then when I'm done with all of this stuff, I dive into my own separate subloop. This is not recommended. This is how I programmed back when I know what I was doing. But this was a way for me to open up a menu and have it be modal so I didn't have to manage multiple states of one game loop. So my solution was I would jump into an inner loop. The problem with that is if I had any animation going on whatsoever in the outer loop, it would have paused it, which was not a good idea. But anyway, as I'm going through this loop, I'm basically reading the keyboard to see where the... or no, there is no keyboard, I don't think, in this game. But basically looking to see where you're clicking on, to see what's happening. See which option choices you are activating, filling out certain modal sub-error messages if things go wrong, and then finally drawing the window, here it is, of the actual menu that you're in. And it looks like I even have multiple if statement variants of that.
So you mentioned that...
Oh, this is a class, uMenu.
Oh. Well, you mentioned that you shouldn't do the sub loop because it'll pause everything outside of that loop.
Yeah.
What is the detriment to doing that, especially in a game like this, where you might want to pause it because you'll have a menu above where
if you want to do
if
that,
it's not a real time.
If you want to do that, you should change state that the outer loop reads to tell it that it's paused. By allowing you to go into different loops, the unwieldiness of the entire game, if it were to get more complicated, would quickly become a major, major problem. Because you'd be like, well, I got to put this in this loop, and they're actually physically in different places in the code. You're like, what the fuck did I do? I learned really quickly, shortly after making this game, that it was a terrible idea to do that. The only reason I wanted to do that is I was a novice programmer, and back in the day, I used to like to use C and C++ kind of like a scripting language. So I like everything to be very linear in events, because that's all I could understand. So the idea of the menu stopping the game and then when it returns, it goes on, was what I wanted. Where
like a very synchronous process.
Yeah, and even in modern UI, sometimes that still happens. Like there are functions for Mac OS where you can go into modal things, but those things would still, well, no, they did go into their own loops. But I find when you're doing a game of any kind, like perfect example might be like a modern Madden game. When you're going into the menu screens, you'll notice there's footballs animating in the background and stuff. That'd be a nightmare to try to program if you had inner loops every single time you went into a menu screen.
I gotcha.
So that's the menu file. I think I'm going to try to go into one more game simply because we ended a little sooner than I thought we would.
My apologies, everybody.